Hi guys, good morning, good morning. All right, so as my personal mission shifts, so do what God wants me to see. And I am just here to be part of the Goddess Revival. This is what I have been told. I am a daughter being used as a tool to revive his other daughters, and their understanding and embracement of their own gifts and their own powers that they have always had. Just never realized, maybe still not realizing. So today we're going to do a few different questions. We're going to start with the journey to the goddess realm cards. As a collective, what are his daughters meant to be projecting and reflecting today? And this is what I've never understood as a little girl. Laughter and discernment. Okay, so we got 7 and 8. And this is what I was going to go into. Having a Christian background, understanding that many people who like to say the name God will tell you that using tarot and other things are of evil. Okay, but as a little girl, I never understood how you could not go to God. Like, how can't you trust God to ask God a question, flip the cards, and have God answer your question? To me, that never made any sense. So that was my discernment used within my whole journey. I had to go where God was leading me. I could not listen to mere mortal mentality telling me anything. I went with my own discernment. I went with my own discernment in my walk. And that is really what is expected by us as daughters always. If you're understanding the goddess revival that is going on within the true divine feminine collective, then you're going to understand that you solemnly can only follow your guidance. All right, you have to look at it like that. No goddess is following any guidance but her own, because she understands her connection. She understands her internal initial instant wisdom that is given to her by her higher self, by her King of Kings, Lord of Lords, Almighty, Most High God of all things. And that's how we should be walking, boldly and discerningly. And then we got laughter. So as bold as we are meant to be, and as truthful as we are meant to be, and we are always seen, I've always walked as the Queen of Swords. I'm ready to cut whatever is in front of me with the dagger in my hand, right hand, left hand, and the one behind me, need be necessary. But, and that's where discernment comes in. The Queen of Swords, in a sense, represents this, you will knock out any bullshit that is trying to lead you, steer you off of your correct guided path. Okay. But we are to remember too that we are also, in a sense, the Queen of Wands. Okay. So you have to remember your queen aspect. So you're a co-creator, you're a goddess of creation who is created to also create within creation, um, with creation, connected. All right. So because of that knowledge and that wisdom, we really have no worries. We have no bounds. We have no limitations. We have no anxiety. We're not worried about it. So as boldly as we walk in the confidence with a smile on our face, because we understand how protected we are within this journey, within this walk. Okay, so don't forget not to take things too seriously, going through your growing as a daughter and also your revival as a true daughter with your goddess aspects that you're being awakened to. And let's see, we got this book. I want to see what it has to say. This is a new deck. So where did it go? All right, 7 and 8. So change and infinite. You also have to, this is how I just do simplified numerology, where my spirit goes. I'm not a master at that, and I was never led to be. But Babu, Babu, I don't know. Body Greek goddess Babu is a jester and dry nurse. She was able to console Dmitri, who was grief stricken at the loss of her daughter through the power of laughter. Babu raised her dress at a tense moment during High Council, which evoked healing through absurdity. Okay, that's funny because on this, I think Divine Feminine, you have been probably called crazy, absurd at some point, and probably felt like it. Definitely felt like it. Not even gonna say probably. That's a most definite. But you have to remember that that, in a sense, has its own natural healing power. We are guided to say everything we feel because we understand our connection and what we are feeling is to be spoken. It is knowledge and wisdom. These aren't just your feelings; these are literally messages and guidance to be given to whoever, one person, the collective, the whole, whoever is meant for the message will see this message. You have to understand that. That's how the divine works. That's why when you're told to speak, you need to speak. Because even if one person out of 3 million people see it and they needed it, that's what you're supposed to be doing. Um, you are bringing the lost sheep home. You're not worried about the ones that think they know everything or think they get it. Belly full of laughter, lightheartedness for the gods and goddesses, including Dimitri. Babu makes her grand appearance through the magic of laughter. Her jolly demeanor lifts the darkest of energies. Let her comedic and theatrical ways shine through, as laughter truly is the best medicine. Laughter, comedy, gesture, zany, witty, theatrical, sense of humor, ability to laugh itself, jolly spirit. Too serious. Okay, so the shadow side of this, if you're not doing this, you're being too serious. No sense of humor. Um, using humor to humiliate another, constantly using comedy to mask pain. You have to remember there's two, for everything, there is a duality to it. Okay, so even if you're laughing all the time, it has to be authentic and true. And it's not just funny, it's the joy of understanding your protection, your walk, your blessings, your abundance. This is the joy, the lightheartedness that we are to use within our messages, okay? Um, within our messages and within our work. So it's just reminding us to stay with the joy and with the discernment that is the armor of God placed upon the daughters. Okay. This is when you will gain full clarity into your gifts, how to use your gifts, where to go with your gifts, where to go with your mission, etc., etc., etc. All right. Where are we going to go with the next one? Do I want to pull one of these? We're going to do a self card of just the place within we should be at. Place within we should be at. That's what I heard. Place within we should be at. Place within goddesses should be within. Okay. We have a willow and we have number 4, which is always representative of the angels to me personally. And so, again, the place we should always be within is always connected to source, our higher selves, our divine teams, understanding that. And when this is easy, when you're seriously understanding that you walk with holy armies all day every day, how can you not be joyful? I mean, I don't know, I come from like that like badass goddess where we are badasses. This is why we're given our duties to be the forerunners, to speak. God has bestowed these missions upon us as warriors, and that is pretty badass. But that should make you happy that you're such a lioness, that you're such a tiger, that you have been given these gifts to be used, to be learned, to be, then to teach others how to use their own. This is all what Goddess Revival is about. The waking up of his daughters is about, is understanding this unity of all these. And that's easy. That's how it's easy to walk in joy. I don't know where that book went either. I got about 10 more minutes and then I gotta cut this. Samuel, help me find my book. What I just had. All right, it's right here. 444 for my angels. Yes, I do adore the angels. Saley Willow. Oh my goodness. You know, my computer is not that old. I don't understand. I feel like my camera sucks, guys. And I'm sorry. Maybe it's the angle that I have. I'm just really realizing how crappy this camera is. And I just got this computer not that long ago. The feminine principle. Okay, so the feminine principle. Cooperation, fertility, intuition, moon cycles, and her cycles. Water, emotion, creativity, community. The Sellow Willow initiates in the fourth lunation of the year. The tree represents the feminine principle and is associated with the celebration of Imbolc and Candlemas. This is a period of the quickening of the creative principle and the element of fire. And that's true. Okay, so, right. Because again, our missions are being directed to a more consistent standpoint within your daily life. So, right. So as we're being directed, we have to, I was being told too yesterday, anything that I feel like I'm doing is a good creative release. This is what I'm supposed to be doing for the king. Just like my writing. Okay. I don't know what you guys do for your creative outlets, but these creative outlets that you probably have always used, they will pinpoint you to your exact gift. So be very aware of the things that you do naturally that make you happy, because a lot of times this is supposed to be collaborated and connected to your mission with your messages. We celebrate that the magic that sparks the seed deep within the earth to begin to grow. The teaching of this is about enriching our community, cooperating with others, and learning to share power and resources with each other. She encourages peace and harmony with many others and with the natural world. She supports our dream life. Dream, dream, dream. That's what we are here to do. Make them dreams come into reality. Boo, boo. Many wonderful plans and ideas come to us in this way. The Ogham for this tree is Sally and the letter S. Sally. Soli. When you draw willow, you can expect a meeting with the mysteries, the power of enhancement. Okay, and this is again, our gifts and our powers are being enhanced one more time. If you didn't think they could get any more enhanced or any more initiations could happen to you, no. This is what shedding the darkness was doing, because of the shifts of creativity and the creating from your heart. This is all coming together, okay? Because union as it approaches on collective, and I think a lot of people are feeling, and I'm not feeling like, I just feel my work and the yearning to hurry up and get it done. So this is a why though. Like I already know that. Whether I want to say it out loud, I already know that. Willow teaches us to embrace our emotions and to express them. She encourages peace and harmony with others and with the natural world. She supports our dream life. Many wonderful plans and ideas come to us in this way. When you draw Willow, you can expect a meeting with the mysteries, the power of enhancement, magic, and the moon. You can expect to have a psychic or intuitive encounter. Dreams and synchronicities, why can I not say that word, are important. Pay attention to your own intuition. Meditation, contemplation time is important. Okay, so when we're using our discernment, like we were told here, you also have to discern when you shut out the world, when you go into your one-on-one space. You have to have a balance between both. But there is one-on-one meditation needed. There is one-on-one time needed that is different from your work. These things are two separate things. Time limits, how you do it, it's all up to you, how you're guided to do it. But when you walk in this journey, that is a part of discernment. Your health, how you are taking on these messages, how you are resting, how how you're balancing all of this out, because it is kind of a shock wave to your body. And if you're not realizing that you're going to have to take care of your body in different measures, to allow these things to come naturally and flow through quickly and just naturally. It's not going to be a shock. There's not going to be tiredness as much. It's really important to discern your own psychic or clairaudience or however you want to psychic being, because you are a celestial being. Okay, so you have to remember to look at your physicality and connect it to your spirituality and discern what you need to change to make your meditations better, to make you, just your spirit and body one connected in the physicality of it all. Okay, water, a lot of greens. This is really important, you guys. That's really important. Okay, make some personal time for quiet reflection. Ask yourself where you are in your cycle of things. If you are wondering about a creative endeavor, you can expect a visitation from the muse. And a lot of times we don't realize divine counterparts are muse. God did this to be amusing, I guess. You may also feel moodier than usual. If this is an emotional time, remember that it is okay to cry. Tears are healing. They release pent up feelings, allow even negative feelings to arise. Express them and let them go, as they have no power over you unless you ignore them or stifle them. Willow has everything to do with the feminine energy. And again, because this is the whole point, waking up the daughters, goddess revival of feminine energy as a whole. This card may come up with when you are going through issues that you have to do with sexuality, fertility, reproduction, birthing, or mothering. You may need the physical support of friends, family, and your community as you move through the issues in your life. Be willing to ask for help. If you are going through grief or loss associated with these themes, Willow offers you healing. Willow encourages you to do something creative. Draw, sing, dance, or write a poem. Leave the critical part of your thinking aside and just allow the expression. Enjoy it. She asks you to partake in your community too, to be receptive, to participate in a cooperative endeavor. Sorry. Also, women are important to your process now. Don't forget to support your own feminine side as well. Yes, and here's another thing. Divine feminine, and I heard one other reader say this. I don't remember who. It might have been a week or two ago. She was stating that a lot of divine feminine, and maybe because you get very confused, everybody, I mean, hey, to each their own, but divine feminine, your part is to do your mission, be the messenger, and support your true sisters and the true daughters. And if you're only supporting like the divine masculines that are okay, because you do notice divine masculines, if they speak and are readers and stuff, they automatically get more views, ratings than divine feminine. Now, this is because divine feminines who are coming on, you're still stuck in this 3D needing to know when your union is, where your twin is, which is that's not being discerning, because this whole journey is for your growth. This whole journey is waking up the daughters. You have a job, you have a duty. If you're too busy paying attention to what readers are saying about your masculine, you're not focusing on your mission. You cannot be truly happy and joyful and understand this mission, this protection, if you're constantly focusing on your counterpart. Again, usually I'm talking to the ones that are way past this. So that's for anybody on my channel that you've been just too focused on what divine masculine, karmics, blah, 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 to the point where you've kind of forgotten that it's about you. It's about your mission. It's about what you're bringing. It's about your worthiness. It's about knowing your worthiness, gaining your gifts, bringing those gifts to the table to add value to the kingdom. And so you can't forget that on this mission. This is a test of God. You will never be putting your divine counterpart before God. And a lot of divine feminines, no, not a lot of people that like to say twin tend to do this. Like, if you're truly divine feminine, you're past this part. You might have been getting stuck in that, but you already know your goddess revival mode. You will revive back to higher dimensions instantly. That's not a problem. You can catch yourself. You understand that that's not a healthy thing, that's ego, and we're all shedding that here. But you're aware of this. That's the point of just this discernment. Always being aware of what you're taking in, what you're projecting out. So do something creative, you guys. Draw, sing. Like I said, leave the critical part of your thinking aside and just allow the expression. Enjoy it. She asks you to partake in your community too, the daughter community, the true daughter community, divine feminine. This is where we should be taking a part in the true daughter community. She asks you to partake in your community, to be receptive, to participate in a cooperative endeavor. Also, women are important to your process now. Don't forget to support your own feminine side as well. Where do we want to go? We're going to pull one of these. This is the light rays. So the light goddesses should be reflecting at this point. Light divine goddesses should be reflecting at this point. Here we go. Moon goddess. Okay, so obviously the moon, new moon, full moon. Moons that are coming up. 4-1, once again, divine team. One with source, one with yourself, one with higher self. I am harmonious flow with the moon's energy in all phases of life. If you are not keeping on to these moon cycles, understanding the power of the moon, if you're a true daughter of God, you understand that you have no idea if you're manifesting like with these moons, what you're gonna bring forth. That when you work with the moon, it is instant. Like, yes, you can manifest something and then in a week it could be coming to light, but the moon is instantaneous. And I know this for a fact. So you're always asked to understand nature. One, the elements. I've been getting cardinals a lot over here. Cardinal was leading me to the direction, north, south, east, and west. I don't want to go too much into that. That's a whole different video, but I've been getting direction, like navigation a lot. So we're being directed, guided always, but this is very important in this mission. Your personal missions are being directed by your creative outlets, guys. So please understand this. Your creative outlets, then start manifesting what you want to come from these creative outlets with your moon cycles, with the mother. And I love these cards too. Conscious spirit is what they are. Conscious spirit. And then this one was confirming the moon as well. So remember that. So the mother's all over this. And you're supposed to be, this is what we are. Goddess revival, you are the mothers of earth. You are the reflections of Eve. You are to be nurturing through your creative powers. Co-creation is real. The moon goddesses symbolize the connection between the moon and earth. She reminds us that we need to connect and live in harmony with the moon phases as they affect our bodies and our minds, the oceans, plants, and animals. By connecting to and living in harmony with these cycles, we can better understand ourselves and all life on this planet. Each cycle has its own benefit and strengths that you can use to gain knowledge and wisdom. Only by learning to live with these natural lunar cycles will your journey through life become smoother and more enjoyable. You will definitely manifest more as well. Take notice of, and probably why you have more joy. So again, now be using your discernment. Where are you understanding the nature, the natural part of this all? Are you understanding creation? Are you on this twin flame walk, not understanding creation in itself? As you are that reflection of creation, because if you don't understand outside creation, you aren't understanding the internalization of creation, which is you. One and one is two, and they are both, this is both have to be looked at, the creator and creation, and you as the co-creator using both powers and the powers that be from both. Only by learning to live with these natural lunar cycles will your journey through life become more smoother, more enjoyable. Do not resist them. Understand they are phases you must go through. And once you accept these cycles, you can use each to your own benefit. Learning when you will be at the peak performance or when it is best to rest. Okay. And I just said it. See, love how the divine, they do this all the time. This is how you know that they speak so loudly and clearly. So I was telling you to make sure you're using discernment, like in your resting, when you're working, it's all balancing everything. And so that's why they were also telling you to kind of what is called, reflect on your life, on your mission, what it is that you feel like you still need to balance out. Are you listening to people that you shouldn't be listening to? Are you too focused on divine masculines? You have yet to start anything providing God's messages. Are you not working with the mother? Are you not even entertaining the thought and the need to understand both aspects of God? Because if you don't understand both aspects of God, you are unknown by God. I will continue to say this. I do not, this is truth. And that's the important part of his daughters waking up. This is why you're being revived, to speak these truths. It's very imperative that we are under this understanding. All right. Let's pull one of these earth cards. So, what will help us balance? Oh. So we got iceberg, which is kind of reminding me of the Titanic right now. That's so funny, right? Here for wherever you are. Oh my gosh, I did not. Let's see where it says. Oh, I have my Earth Magic. This is Earth Magic. Submerged is the theme. All right, so we're going to understand, like, we should be submerged constantly in divine wisdom, divine knowledge, divine guidance. We should be submerged in our one-on-one connection, the understanding and the knowing of that, walking in that. Up to 90% of iceberg's body is below the surface, deeply submerged in the bosom of grandmother ocean. Okay, so again, now we're coming to the sea. So the mother's really showing up here. A divine feminine. You do not even know how powerful you are because it's so deep down hidden in you. Okay, you've forgotten so much that you slowly but surely these gifts and these powers are coming up. But they're going to be peeking their head more. The more you go down, 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 the more you find. It's not about finding, just finding. It's about putting to use what we are finding. It's being submerged in everything in our being within this deep knowledge and wisdom and love that is pouring out from the mother, from the sea. And this, yet grandmother allows considerable freedom for her enormous children, permitting them to move about as directed by the currents in their own momentum. Okay, so we can only go as far as we are willing to go. Once again, so we have to always constantly be wanting to be submerged within wisdom. It's never ending. This is a never ending flow of strength, love, abundance, blessing, wisdom, knowledge, never ending flow. You don't stop, so just it's up to us to always be constantly learning new things, to constantly be seeking, to constantly be swimming deeper, deeper, deeper. And the divine does keep up with our own pace. They do. They will push and pull and prod, but it really is at the end all up to you. You do have freedom, you do have free will. So just always be aware that we are to yearn for this constant knowledge and this constant feeding from the mother. Ooh. All right, so having broken off from a glacier or ice shelf, they float along the sea, much to the detriment of vessels that attempt to traverse their passage ways. Most of them have, okay, right, and you can't really, I mean, it's talking about like the iceberg. I said Titanic, so icebergs like take down the biggest ships. They take them down. Remember, you are as a goddess, like this is what you are for God. As a daughter of the King, you are His icebergs. You know, nothing's coming past you. This is how powerful you are. You have to submerge yourself in the knowledge of that power. It takes a long time, but you're supposed to be submerging yourself. You're gaining this knowledge, and then everything that you're being fed, you're submerging it within your spiritual being. And this is when you grow to be like this badass iceberg of a goddess, of a daughter. Nothing gets past you, buddy. Most of us have heard stories of ill-fated ships that have tragic encounters with these ice mountains. Although the topmost portion of the iceberg can easily be seen, there's still a massive amount of its body below the water that may be difficult to detect. All right, so you have to understand that you're supposed to be diving deep into yourself to find these powers. And then understand that people can't see it. They only see like the, that's why don't use your discernment always. You know, don't be offended when people can't see that you are a true daughter of God, because they can only see the surface of things. They don't see below the surface. We do. So it is our duty to submerge ourselves in that wisdom and that knowledge and take it and live it. On that note, I will say this. My grandma's father, okay, this is crazy, the Titanic. So my grandma's father, my dad's mom, she's 100% Dutch. Her father comes from Amsterdam. When he was about 7 years old, they were going to get on the Titanic. They could not get on the Titanic because his brother was working in the farm or something, and they got wood chip in his eye. His eye was like swollen, all red. So the people on the Titanic said that they cannot come because obviously back then they thought it was diseases. They didn't know what the hell was in his eye. They said they cannot come. I would probably not be talking today if these people got on the Titanic. And this is a true story. Swear it on my life. God knows it. This is what it is. I can have my grandma tell you. So yeah, it's God has a destined plan for us. If my grandma's father would have gotten on the Titanic when he was a little boy to come to America, my ass would not be born today in this flesh, in this body, on this camera. God has destined everything. Okay, so there's nothing that is going to stop his daughters. There's nothing that are going to stop and move the icebergs that he's created within his goddess's being. You understand? This is just, God has a lot coming through his true daughters. You don't understand how special you are. We have to always carry this joy. Just understand how special and worthy you and valuable you are to the King of Kings. And you will always feel like endless joy, like just complete badassery, but share it, quiet confidence, understanding that it's not you, but it is your king. And hey, if there's something that we just did right, we covenanted, we were promised, and we're here to share. And that's, walk in that boldly. All right, much love, guys. Much love.